Something else is like, so stupid Sarah Silverman, right? Stupid Sarah Silverman apparently got fired from a movie, or they didn't cast her in a movie or some shit because they found that picture that's been circulating for a while of her in blackface from the Sarah Silverman show. It's her in blackface or whatever, and now she got fired from a movie. Now I'm conflicted by this. I'll tell you why. Number one, I hate Sarah Silverman. She to me is worse than people that are just straight SJWs their whole life, because she wasn't. She made her bones doing terrible racist rape jokes, which, by the way, objectively were very funny. You can't take that away from her. And then when she became famous, she became all PC and goes, actually, that's not funny. What I said before was wrong, and blah, 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 blah. And she's been virtue signaling, and she's calling Trump a white supremacist, and blah, 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 blah. And now she's been, I believe, fired or not hired, whichever way you want to look at it, from a movie because she wore blackface. Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying I hate her, and of course, in a big way that makes me feel good inside that she got her home medicine. However, to be morally honest, she should not have lost her job because of a comedy skit she did on Comedy Central. That's fucking retarded. That is dumb. I mean, so that's kind of the conundrum. You know what I mean? That's kind of the conundrum that I'm facing. So I don't. Sorry. I'm trying to find a specific tweet here that has to do with this. I'm a mess today. Hold on. Is this it? Did I find it? Okay. So anyway, that's why I'm torn. Now, I want to play something. Not play something. I want to show you something. And there's a reason I'm bringing this up. This was a tweet. This was the tweet that was put out there by Page Six. Sarah Silverman fired from new movie for blackface. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro. This is absurd. The makeup was for a skit about the comparative challenges of being black and Jewish. Which, again, I don't think that so here's a couple things, Ben. Number one. I'm making a lot of lists today. Number one. A lot of things here, Ben. Number one, old Benny. Even if the joke was her wearing blackface and going ooga booga, and if it was in a good context of a funny joke, she shouldn't be fired for it. Just because all of a sudden Judaism is inserted into the setup for the joke doesn't immediately make it okay, because you're showing how both sides are victims, right? So number one, fuck you with that. It has nothing to get. It's not the Jewish people. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to because I heard it, but because okay, I'm going to try to go off my memory of it, but when they were accusing Megyn Kelly or somebody of blackface, I believe Ben Shapiro, out of his own mouth, goes, "Blackface is horrible, folks. It's disgusting and it's horrible, and anybody that does it is a vile person." That's Ben Shapiro, something to that effect, he said. He really did. But now when it's Sarah Silverman, and she's pointing out the stark contrast between Jews and blacks, or whatever, struggles. What is it? Comparative challenges. Yeah. Let me tell you the comparative challenges of Jews and blacks. One of them owns the media, and the other one doesn't. So I mean, there's your challenges, Benny boy. But joking aside, the fucking hypocrisy that spews out of Ben Shapiro every fucking day is gross. And he fooled us. He fooled us and a whole generation of people. Because, and I mean this, and a whole generation of young conservatives, and I think they're waking up to it. They're waking up to the Ben Shapiro, the Ben Shapiro question, which is he sold himself by owning libtards and beating, by the way, destroying 18-year-olds with facts and logic. Great job, Ben. You're good job. But then when an adult man on BBC tries to go after you, you get out. Nobody even watches you, okay? I'm leaving this debate. I'm gone now. We were fooled. We were absolutely fooled. Well, he is a conservative in that he's a neocon. So there you go, Robbie. He's a neocon, which is technically a type of conservative, the worst kind, if you ask me. What? Aren't white supremacists? Yeah, still, neocons are worse. You know it's not a hoax? White supremacy is an hoax. Neocons are going to destroy this country. That's not a hoax. So he's this fucking neocon asshole, and we've been sold on it. And remember something, a lot of people, because now he makes all of his money, and this is true, from MAGA people, from people that love Trump. He gets all his money from that. He does. He's selling this 34-year-old. Is that how old he is? This 34-year-old. 33, maybe he's younger than me. This 33-year-old is making his money pandering to MAGA fucking boomers. And you know how you could tell? Listen to his advertisers. Birch Gold, invest in gold you'll never actually touch. That's a boomer product. You know what I mean? Life insurance, boomer product. He is, just by looking at his sponsors, you can tell who he's pandering to. It's boomers. Look, our sponsors are our sponsor on ROTC is a VPN company. Shows you we fucking pander to people that are terrible people and need to hide their identity. So there you go. See, it holds up. But no, seriously. So he panders to these people. And remember, Ben Shapiro was a never Trumper. Facts. I won't vote for him. I'm going to leave the top of the ticket blank. I won't. And now all these fucking MAGA boomers are all like, Ben Shapiro's awesome. Isn't it awesome? Look at him destroying a fat girl with 3 eyebrow piercings. You know? Everybody's parents listen to Ben Shapiro. You know, if your parents are conservative, they do anyway. But that's my point. Like, he's been sold like, oh, look at him crushing these libtards. Yeah, Ben, I get it, but you're the least consistent person I've ever seen. First off, his takes are terrible. Secondly, anybody who ever told Ben Shapiro that he was funny should be deported from this planet. They should be sent on a SpaceX rocket on the first mission to Mars and be used as fertilizer. Who's ever laughed at Ben Shapiro's jokes should not be allowed to have a vote in this country. Because somebody's edging this man on. Somebody's telling Ben Shapiro he's a funny guy. And he's not a funny guy. He's not. Every time he posts something, he thinks he's being hilarious. Royce, you don't see that it's easy to destroy libtards when your views are able to shift to whatever helps the most? Yeah, shape-shifting views. You're right. That's a good point. He's the embodiment of how miserable debate teams are. Exactly. And so all of a sudden it's like, oh, because her joke was contrasting something that make Jews and blacks look like victims, then of course she's allowed to do it. But when you said people that were blackface are evil and vile people, you are, Ben, and I mean this sincere, because the problem is you can't like say anything like this, because whenever you say anything like this, everyone goes, you're an anti-Semite. No, I'm really not. And I mean that sincerely. You know, we joke about a lot of stuff, but I'm really not. I'm not. You know, but the fact of the matter is, at this point, Ben Shapiro, are you like a Jewish, not even a Zionist? Are you a Jewish supremacist? Like I mean this. This is really weird. The defense of her wearing blackface should be and should always be, if you're a principled person, even if, and I hate Sarah Silverman. I hate Ben, maybe more than Ben Shapiro, I hate Sarah Silverman, seriously. So I dislike her a lot. But the defense should be, it was a joke. And that's it. That's the defense. If you're going to defend somebody for a comedy bit that they did in the past, the defense should be, it was a joke. Shut up. That's it. When people defend, don't listen, guys. And I've done this before, but don't anymore. It's not worth it. When people sit there and they try to defend Joe, like, and I'm not saying, you know, you should defend people that do this, but when people try to go in depth, like, whenever people give context to why, oh no, why that joke was okay, so they should be left alone, and not with Sarah Silverman, with anybody, you are feeding into the argument. Even though I know you're trying to help because you're trying to show, oh well, you're feeding into the argument that there is certain things on context that you can't joke about, and that you're giving ground every time you do that. You're giving up ground every time you do the Ben Shapiro, like, well, it's okay, but because it was comparing this and that, or the joke is actually showing the black people are the victims, and you're defending that. Don't even. There's no need, because all you're doing is saying, well, in a different context, though, that joke wouldn't be accepted. All jokes are acceptable. If you don't like it, fucking don't watch it and shut the fuck up. How about that? How about go fucking cry into a pillow? I don't know what to tell you. If you're so offended by jokes that it affects your life, maybe then we do have it too good here. You know, we're definitely not a Spartan society. We're not throwing the retard babies over a cliff. You know, we're sending them to fucking college on our dime because we're going to forgive their student debt. So, you know, that's what we're doing. I know Port Film. I saw that this morning. I have it for ROTC. Don't you worry. I don't, and again, I cannot stress to you enough. I am not defending Sarah Silverman as a human being, because I think she's a terrible human being, and I mean that like sincerely. I am defending the idea of free speech. The idea of free speech. That's what I am defending. Nothing more, nothing less. You got to be morally consistent, and I know. Look, and I'm look. Sometimes everybody is guilty of being angry at something or whatever, and I've probably done it on this show and other shows, and because we're all humans, but you got to try your best at least to be morally consistent. You know, I am very, very happy that Sarah Silverman is tasting what it feels like that she was doing to other people. And not only in comedy, but people in general. However, I'm really, really sad that a bit that she did on a comedy show is now being used to disqualify her or anybody from having a job. So that's what I say. I'm you know, so like I said, morally speaking, she should still have this job and whatever. However, if she's going to lose it anyway, which I don't think she should, the silver lining is. The Silverman lining is that she at least knows what she does to other people when she villainizes other people. And she does it. She's done it. You know, calling other people racist, calling the president a white supremacist. When she's made... Let me tell you something. Sarah Silverman's made more jokes about black people than Trump ever has. And by the way, I think Trump is a fucking turncoat compromised man now. So I'm not defending him either. But I'm just saying. You know what I mean? And their jokes were brutal and they were funny. You know, Sarah Silverman was, and I've always said this, was one of the few funny women that I actually thought were good. I mean that sincerely. Go back to her 2008, 2009 stuff. 2005, Sarah Silverman. Sarah Silverman as a writer for SNL. Sarah Silverman was funny. Objectively, you cannot say it. Funnier than Amy Schumer ever was or is. But But she closed the door behind her, and that's what made her so reviled with me. But like I said, no, I did. I did. There was some stuff. There was some. Her early specials were funny. I think they were anyway. Her Comedy Central. Well, that's where they got the blackface from. CGBG from the Comedy Central sitcom, whatever it was. There was a literal episode in there where she said she wanted to send all people with AIDS to an island so they could live there, or to the moon. Look, I'm not. Look, by the way, I'm not saying you had to find it funny. If you didn't find it funny, you didn't find it funny. I'm just, you're right. I shouldn't have said objective. Subjectively, I apologize. It was funny. Becker's 84. She did a pedo skit. Yeah, but I mean, again, it was edgelordy comedy. Look, man, I'll be the first one. We go after Epstein, we go after Dan Schneider, legitimate pedophiles. But again, the same thing with the blackface. These Pizzagate fucking people, and not only, but some people that get really too into it are like, you can't even make a skit or a joke about pedophilia. Yeah, you can. You can. If we're going to sit here and fight for you're allowed to tell a joke about whatever you want, then you should also be allowed to do that, right? You don't have to like it, but as long as you're not actually diddling kids, then I'd say you're pretty safe. You know what I mean? All humor needs to be treated as such. It needs to be treated as gallows humor. It's what it is. You know what I mean? She probably did do a fucking pedo skip. So did 2005, 2006, 2007. That time, everybody was an edgelord. Let's not sit here and pretend that all of us here weren't little edgelords back then. We were all little edgelords, making little edgelords jokes, telling everyone they had AIDS, and they were a bunch of cunts, and making 9/11 jokes. We were pretty hard, and not just me, because I was on the internet then too. You motherfuckers, all of you were edgelordy. And some of the stuff was funny and some of the stuff wasn't, but jokes are jokes, and I don't care. I hate, like, now because there's literal billionaire pedophiles out there, and there are. Now everybody's a pedophile. Let's relax. Pump the brakes a bit. And by the way, if you think a Sarah Silverman type is getting invited to billionaire parties, you're fucking nuts. Like, there's even a hierarchy in that too. You know that, right? There's a hierarchy. The only other good thing that came out of this because of the Sarah Silverman thing is that CNN actually started pointing out that Jimmy Kimmel once did blackface when he played Karl Malone. And I've pointed this out for years. But he played Karl Malone, and now now let's see what happens to him. But they'll probably apologize, and there'll be no issues. If someone is at my politics, I'm going to stab you in the face. Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. And yeah, actually, Jimmy Kimmel used to be funny, too. His Karl Malone bit was hilarious. But again, it's a matter of being a hypocrite. And I think that's was my problem with Jimmy Kimmel. He's a fucking hypocrite. I can't, I can't sit here and here.
Night, Karl Malone, look up. Sometime at night, Karl Malone look up in sky and say, what the hell going on up there? Do UFO live on other planet, phoning home like E.T.? Karl Malone read on TV about white people getting deducted by aliens, sticking all kind of hell up their butt. And that's a damn thing. Now, Karl Malone never seen no flying saucer himself, but if he do, that's going to be a spooky time. That's why Karl Malone say government got to step up and give 102% to keeping them little green man off this here earth. Because the day them dudes stick something up Karl Malone butt, that ain't going to be no good time for nobody.
That's So on top of the blackface, there's also homophobic jokes, and it's pretty funny. But this is my point. And somebody said it like current Jimmy Kimmel would hate the Man Show. Yeah,
especially Karl Malone butt. Listen up, E.T. You better stay the hell back. Nanu, nanu. Until next time, this here Karl Malone.
That's Jimmy Kimmel, who, by the way, dated Sarah Silverman for a very long time. They dated. But yeah, so, you know, it's and again, it's the same people that have closed the door on everyone are the ones now that are trying to tell us what the fuck to say. All right, well, if you want to help me out, by the way, streamlabs.com/daywave live. Texas speech is on. I mean, I ranted again, and I apologize. I don't ever realize when it's going to happen, and then I look at the time and realize I've been ranting about this for a while. But yeah, it's just fuck it. It's my show. I rant if I want. It just really bugs me. It really, really bugs me, the phoniness, and now all of a sudden, and oh no, but in this context, jokes are whether you find a joke funny or not is not the point. Finding a joke not funny doesn't mean you get to make somebody lose their job over it. Shut up. Stop being weak. Stop being weak. Kitty Razor, Sarah has a show that makes Jesus look like a degenerate. Okay, look, and I get that, and I get you don't like it, and I get it might bother you. But again, she should be allowed to do it, and she shouldn't be fired or not have jobs because of it. And again, I cannot. I know I'm saying a lot, but I hate Sarah Silverman. And you know, you be able to do what you want. I never want to, anybody who says to me, regardless of what the joke is, and goes, you shouldn't joke about that, is wrong. And I mean that. I can make that statement truly. Anybody who goes, you shouldn't joke about that, is wrong. You're wrong. You don't have to like it. But I'll joke about what the fuck I want. All right. And see, I was going to talk about the Sarah Silverman stuff on the main show. You guys got me all fucked up. Don't know what to do. Don't turn around. You find a person as you. All right. Sorry.